I have been given so many requests for a flat earth video because I never shut up about flat earth, but I just keep posting beauty videos because they're more lighthearted and will probably come with less ridicule. Being pretty has come with a lot of ridicule, and I thought in high school that being pretty could be even worse than being deformed because it just comes with so much bullying, and I thought nothing could be that bad. And then I quit eating meat, and I saw everybody's fangs around me come out, and I thought, you know, while I'm not eating meat, people couldn't be meaner. People couldn't be any more rude about it. And then I went flat earth. And that's when the fangs just, they came out of everybody except for a few tiny people. Maybe like five people have remained. But, so yeah, I'm going to do a flat earth video, and just bear with me because I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm actually just trying to tell my personal story, as many other people have told theirs. Because even before flat earth became popular and trending, there was still something similar to flat earth cooking in the back of my mind all throughout my childhood and early adulthood. And that started whenever I was 13, and I went to the Virgin Islands with my sister, and we were in St. Thomas, and from St. Thomas, from our hotel room in St. Thomas, we could see Puerto Rico. And it didn't dawn on anybody. It didn't dawn on me then at all. Not at all. It was just, you know, there's another island. But, I mean, I had to look it up later and figure out that St. Thomas to Puerto Rico is about 111 miles. Shouldn't exactly be seeing Puerto Rico from St. Thomas. But I put it all aside and moved on, and I didn't think about anything similar again until I was 16 and I went skydiving. And when I went skydiving, it was the first time that I could see the horizon completely bare, without a helicopter windshield, without the curved window of an airplane. I could see the horizon for what it was, and it was flat. And when I landed, I didn't care that it was flat necessarily. I mean, I was a little bit upset that there was no curvature to be seen. I just assumed that I wasn't high enough. I wasn't high enough. I was so high, and there was no curvature. But, you know, 10 years later, my dad asked me, I think that you need to get online and find us a picture of all the satellites that surround Earth. And I was like, okay. Let's find it. What the fuck? Nothing. I gave him picture after picture after picture. I ran my printer out of ink, and none of these pictures satisfied him. They weren't real. He said, these aren't real. Find me better pictures. And I agreed with him that they weren't real, but I couldn't do any better than that. It didn't occur to me that the picture I was looking for didn't exist. I was just thinking that my searching skills just aren't up to par. I could search better. I'm just a failure. There's got to be a real picture of this. My dad is almost 80 years old, and before he dies, he wants to see a picture of this. And I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one at all. And I let that go too. I let that go and put the blame on myself, thinking I just couldn't search well enough. And then this book showed up. Now this book is a real trip. I would like to entitle this video The Scrutiny of a Science Book, but it could be anything, who knows. But I'd like to scrutinize this science book for you to give you kind of an idea of my personal take on it, my personal information. I know a lot of flat earth videos out there are just people sharing the same information and reiterating the same information over and over and over again, and I have different information. I have actually quite a bit of different information, and this is probably going to be one video in a series of many. And I'm going to cover this book, and I'm also going to scrutinize this one. I mean, this picture is hilarious. It's almost too funny for words, because as funny as the pictures are in this book, they're somewhat believable if you've already been completely brainwashed. But even if you've been completely brainwashed, there's nothing about this picture that's even close to being believable. And even if people looked at it and thought, oh yeah, well that's not real, it's artistic interpretation. Maybe you should question why we have so many artistic interpretations of where we live. Because chances are, where we live doesn't look anything like this. In fact, chances are, this is an absolute fraud. I mean, fraud at best. Welcome to part 2 of my personal flat earth story. I'm going to be breaking down the science book for you, as well as comparing it to some of our nation's favorite literature, gossip magazines. Now, let's start by going through here. I have taken the time to flag some of these pictures, some of these photographs, and some of these illustrations for you. Now, my flat earth friends are really going to love this video, but my friends that aren't flat earth are just probably going to think I'm crazy. That's okay. That's okay. You can think that I'm crazy. But they keep asking me, why would we be lied to? Why would anybody lie about this? And the answer is simple: money. Basically, when it comes to business, when people get lied to, that's when profits can be maximized. If we say that water is in short supply, then the price of water can go up. If we say that oil is in short supply, then oil can go up. If we say that a cataclysmic event could happen at any minute, then we got to pay our taxes to NASA. And I heard recently, I don't know if this is true or not, somebody can do a little fact checking for me, but I heard that they get $50 million a day. Now, they get it because of this. They get it because of the threat of doomsday. They get it because the threat of impending alien attack. They get it because of all the things that we're afraid of and all of our ignorance. They get $50 million a day, or maybe even more, because we need them to tell us if there's something headed toward us. If we're flying through space and gamma radiation could be on its way here any minute, an asteroid could be on its way here any minute, we need them. We need them to help us figure that out, navigate it, and deter that cataclysm from happening. And so it creates a huge method of making money. And if they can show us pictures of our Earth, if they can show us pictures of where we live, then they're doing something for us that we couldn't do for ourselves, and it puts them in the power position. It puts them in the know. They know more than we do, and that means that we would always have to bow down to them and need them. This is one of the pictures in this book. Now, keep in mind that this is a science book. This isn't a children's book. This isn't a coloring book. This isn't a cartoon. I mean, actually, it is a cartoon book. It's not supposed to be a cartoon book. It's supposed to be a science book. In fact, it's made by National Geographic, and it's called The New Solar System. And I would venture to say that it's called The New Solar System because they want to get us used to things. Things are always changing. Pluto's not a planet anymore, and things are always changing, and the globe is heating up, and they can just say whatever they want to say if they have all of this power. And so, going back through this book, some of the funniest pictures are just their art, their art, what they would use as, their intro or whatever. Like, it's art. We know that this is art. This can't possibly be real. I mean, there are probably a couple idiots out there that think that it is, but they get by, with lying to us because we're used to them showing us so much art. We're used to them showing us so much art that we're officially used to being given complete art, and that's all that there is. We're used to be given, CGI. We're used to being given oil paintings, photographs of oil paintings, and then this one's my favorite. This is how they can really get your money. You're going to stay in your house, and they're going to go out and explore the universe, and they're just going to, they're going to pump it onto your TV for you, and that's it. That's what you get. And here's how they go about doing that. They convince you of that by telling you that this is your home. Now, I want you to look at this picture, and I want you to think, if this looks like it could be, ever was, or ever will be, your home. I mean, I don't know about you, but I live here. This isn't where I live. They're not exploring my home because I don't live on their imaginary cartoons. Apparently they do, but I don't. My brain functions in a much higher capacity. I know some people aren't going to agree with that, but it's true. Now, let's get on to comparing this to gossip magazines, shall we? Now, when it comes to these two forms of literature, let's be completely honest here. These two forms of literature, for the most part, for most people in our society, these govern what they do, how they think, how they go about living their lives, what they're interested in, pretty much what they're going to wear, what they're going to paint on themselves, what they're going to spray on themselves, and how they're going to maybe treat other people. These two pieces of literature here are significantly different, but in some ways are really significant in our culture. And one of them we have such a high opinion of, and we pay so much for it, and the other one we pay so little for it, and we don't really respect it. Let's go through that, shall we? Brad takes the kids. That's interesting. Does he really take the kids? Because not too long after that, we get the same kind of magazine that says, no kids at Christmas. And then we get the same kind of bullshit over and over again with Kim Kardashian's ass. One week it's huge, the next week it's small. It's like, what is the story exactly? Oh, the story is they're just trying to get your fucking money. And that's the same story with these fine people. Yeah, they're just trying to get your money. The only difference is they don't actually have as many real photographs as these people here do. And in fact, what we worship and idolize as our reality, and a lot of people worship it as their religion, it doesn't contain as many real photographs as something that we think is bullshit, gossip, shallow, stupid, unimportant, retarded, all these other terrible words you could come up with. We think that this is shallow and stupid, and yet we think this is amazing. And it's so weird that we feel that way, because even though the pictures are doctored in these magazines at times, still containing a whole lot more real pictures. I just think that we should kind of maybe think about where we're putting our money, where we're putting our faith. I mean, you have to have a lot of faith. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't agree to it, but you have to have a lot of faith to look at a book like this and think that this picture on the front of it or any of the pictures inside of it are real. And in fact, you would have to be pretty much brain dead to believe they're real, because in the back of it are the illustration credits for all of the so-called photographs of Earth and of Saturn and all of the other planets that they say are in your home that they're going to go explore for you. I think we ought to think about that. And until then, I'm going to see you in probably part 3 of this. And until then, I will be on top of more of this, finding out what else we can do about this, where else we can find other pictures to scrutinize, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Welcome to part 3 of my personal flat earth experience. Today we're going to be covering more of the science book and scrutinizing it, as well as talking about all kind of questions everybody had about part 1 and part 2. So let's get started. Everybody wants to know what this book is, exactly what the title is, when it was published, yada yada yada, and so here it is. It's called The New Solar System, Ice Worlds, Moons and Planets Redefined, by Patricia Daniels, and a foreword by Robert Burnham. Now, this is the expanded edition, and I would like to cover the inside cover. It says, The New Solar System, Ice Worlds, Moons and Planets Redefined, and down here it says, National Geographic, Washington, D.C. And I also flagged some more pictures in here so that we could go over them. One of them being this picture here. And I want to talk about this because on NASA's website, nasa.gov, they have what's called the image of the day. Anybody can go there, flat earthers, round earthers, no earthers, anybody can go there and save an image, put it in Photoshop or EarthenView, doctor it a little bit, and tell if it's real or fake. And I've done this more than 2,000 times. That's not an exaggeration. And in part 4, coming up next, I'm going to show you how we do that. I also saved this picture here because on nasa.gov's website, all of these pictures of these really pretty nebulas and planetary bullshits, they come up as fakes every time. 100% of the time, they come up as fakes. In fact, the only real pictures in this book are the ones that are taken on Earth of Earth, from Earth, kind of like this one here. So it's a real image, it's a real picture, it's a real photograph, and it was taken on Earth. And if you take this picture and you put it into OrphanView or Photoshop, you can doctor it, and your child could probably doctor it and tell that it's a real photograph. It's really simple. I also wanted to go through this book and talk about this. I don't even know where to begin with this. It's like we're taught that science is what we know. Science is what we've proven, and we know it because we've proven it. And then we have things like this. This is an artist depicting the sun's layers. Now, I understand that the artist is depicting this, but what I don't understand is why the scientists are telling us what they know is inside the center of the sun. I'd like to know what test, what scientific study has ever discovered the core of the sun. How do they know? How do they know that it looks like that? And if they don't know that it looks like that, why are they saying that it looks like that without saying that they're not sure if it really looks like that? This all doesn't sound very scientific to me, and the book starts to lose credibility, and it ended up becoming so worthless to me. I've pulled pages out of it because I'm going through it. I'm going through it on the daily. I'm reading it. I'm reading it on the toilet. I'm reading it at my kitchen table, and like I have to ask people, like, does this look like it's your home? They're telling you this is your home, but does this look like it's your home? And yes, I'm angry. And I'm not perfect. My videos aren't perfect. I'm not professional. I'm just asking you if this looks like your home. Not trying to convince you of anything. I'm certainly not trying to convince you of flat Earth. And when I brought up this dictionary here, someone said, oh, an old dictionary from the 70s doesn't prove anything. Well, it proves you're brainwashed. It proves you're gullible. It does prove those things. And it also proves that you don't know a dictionary from 2002. This is a dictionary from 2002. That's the Earth. And yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry because we've been lied to. And if you're not angry because you've been lied to, you've been drinking entirely too much fluoride perhaps, or you really believe NASA.gov, yet you don't visit it. Okay, welcome back to part 4 of my flat Earth experience. So people are saying, you know, this dictionary here, it doesn't prove that the Earth is flat. And I'm not saying that it does, and I'm not trying to convince you that the Earth is flat. I'm asking you to consider how much this means to you. I'm asking you to consider how much you believe this. Because this isn't proof of flat Earth. It is just proof that we're being brainwashed on the daily. And I wanted to keep going through this book with you, and also show you some pictures that I've doctored on the internet. Also, this kind of stuff. It's just, basically this book is just completely filled with horse shit, and it's so much horse shit that, like I said, I've been ripping the pictures out so that I can share it with people and laugh at it. This is one of the only pictures in it. I mean, there's like a handful of these pictures in it, but this is one of the only ones. It's a real honest-to-goodness photograph. And if you take this image and you put it in OrphanView or Photoshop, you'll be able to tell immediately that it's a real image. So what we're going to do right now is go over to my computer, and I'm going to show you how I get NASA's image of the day off of their website into OrphanView and doctor it just a little bit to show you that they're lying out their ass. Let's go. Okay, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to NASA's image of the day, click on one of these wonderful pictures, and save it. We're going to save this as Moon 12. And then we're going to go over to OrphanView and pull that right up. Or not. We're going to pull that right up. Moon 12. And very easily here, I can show you that even though they're saying that this is a real picture of the moon and Earth, without moving the gamma correction more than an inch, I can easily prove that it's been cropped, cut, pasted, CGI'd, Photoshopped, slapped together, and sold to you as it's really science. And then I can show you this one here. This is an image that NASA says is an exoplanet, and if you go over to NASA's image of the day, go to their galleries, right here, image of the day, and you will get a plethora of these pictures here that you can go through and doctor and decide for yourself. Anybody can do this. Like, even a child could do this. But anyway, this is the Reigns of Terror. This is an exoplanet that NASA says that they discovered. And they say this is a real planet. And I've taken this picture, I've saved it as EXO, and I've gone over here to Earth in View and opened up EXO, which is the same one I had there anyway because I was practicing. And all I have to do is just change this a little bit, and we can see that this has been cropped, pasted, pixelated. And the reason that this part here inside of this isn't doing that is because this is an oil painting. This is an oil painting that they've taken a picture of, that they've put into Photoshop, put some stars around it, and told you, oh yeah, this is a planet that looks a lot like Earth. Isn't that interesting? And that's fascinating to everybody who believes that kind of bullshit. Anyway, I got a couple other images I can show you. I brought this image up of the astronauts here, and to show that a real picture doesn't act the same, gonna do similar stuff to the picture that I did to the other ones and show you that a real image is real. It's solid, and there's no crop lines, there's no squares, like when we do that one with the moon here. Like, just look at the square that is developing around the moon. They're saying that a satellite took this picture from Mars. Now, what in the hell is that exactly? Anyway, thanks for watching my channel, and I'll be back with part 5 before you know it. Hi Flat Earth friends, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to part 7 of my Flat Earth experience. I'm going to be talking to you today more about this book. I'm sure you probably thought that I've done as many videos as I could possibly do on this book, but alas, I have not. I will have you know that I could probably do 100 videos on this book. It is that interesting and that hilarious and that much of a piece of shit. Today we're going to be talking about why satellites are a hoax, and it would start with the fact that this is an adult science book filled with nothing but cartoon images of satellites and no real ones. Let's look at them. So, this one's really hilarious. I don't know why an adult science book is filled with this many cartoon images, but I'm going to just throw this out there. No, this does not prove that the Earth is flat. No, I am not trying to convince you that the Earth is flat. I am not trying to say that you should believe the Earth is flat because of these images. I'm saying that a fucking adult science book should have some real fucking photographs in it. Here's some more of this nonsense. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really interested in what a satellite would look like out there like this. And I'm really wondering why, since they're cameras, that they can't take pictures of one another and get us real images like this. Or, you know, an image that would be like this but real. This isn't the real image. This is cartoon fabrication. Let that sink in. This is a cartoon fabrication. CGI, computer generated image. No different than this one, which, again, I pulled out of a National Geographic adult science book. Not a children's book, not a comic book, not a coloring book, a science book. And last but not least, oh, just for old time's sake, oh, look at this picture. Look at that. Remember a cozy time when you thought that that was your home and that this might be a real picture? Well, it isn't a fucking real picture! It's a piece of shit! I'm not saying that proves flat Earth. I'm saying it doesn't prove a globe either. Thanks for tuning in. Hey friends, it's Daphne, and welcome back. This is part 46 of my personal flat Earth experience. And for some of you, this will be no surprise, but for a small percentage, it will be. I am done considering myself a ball skeptic, and despite the title of my previous videos, up until this point, I have been a ball skeptic, and I'm now entering the realm of a flat earth. I mean really entering it. I mean no longer living in fear of ridicule. Ridicule from people who were too stupid to care whether or not they lived on a flat plane or a spinning ball. I'm done with it. And even though all of my videos in this series have been entitled Flat Earth, all of my content has been ball skeptic content. I'm just talking about, you know, where the missing curvature might be, where the missing money might be, where the missing pictures might be, what they might be doing instead of telling us the truth. All of it up until now has been just ball skepticism. But I am here today to tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the earth is flat. And I know in previous videos I have stated that, you know, maybe nobody really knows one way or another, not the globe earthers, not the flat earthers, that nobody really knows what we're on. That's true, nobody knows what we're really on. But whatever it is, our portion of it is flat. I have done the needed research, I have done the necessary experiments, I have done the forethought and planning. Earth is flat. Earth is totally flat. What we know of as Earth is flat.